Let me ask you something. Why do two people go through the exact same hardship, same failure, same heartbreak, same loss, and one of them comes out stronger, while the other one falls apart? Same storm, completely different outcomes. The answer isn't luck, it isn't talent, it isn't even willpower. It's their mindset. And more specifically, it's Stoicism. Today, I'm going to show you how the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, practiced by emperors and warriors thousands of years ago, is the most powerful mental operating system you can install in your life right now, in a world full of distractions, chaos, and noise. This isn't history class. This is your life. Let's get into it. Section 1. What is Stoicism, really? Most people think Stoicism means suppressing your emotions, being cold, feeling nothing. That's completely wrong. Stoicism is the art of controlling what you can control and releasing everything else. It's not about having no emotions. It's about not being enslaved by them. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man on earth, the Roman emperor, and every single morning he sat down and wrote in his journal. Not about his power, not about his wealth. He wrote about how to be better, how to stay grounded, how to serve his people. That journal became a book called Meditations, and it's still changing lives today. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave, became one of the greatest philosophers in human history. Why? Because he understood one truth that most people never grasp. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. That single idea is worth more than any motivational quote you've ever seen scrolling online. Section 2. The Dichotomy of Control. Here's the core principle of Stoicism that will change the way you think starting today. The Stoics divided all of life into two categories: things within your control and things outside your control. What's in your control? Your thoughts, your effort, your attitude, your response. What's not in your control? Other people's opinions, the economy, the weather, whether you get rejected, whether life is fear. Now here's where most people destroy themselves mentally. They spend 80% of their energy on things they cannot control, and almost no energy on the things they can. They're obsessed with what people think of them. They're angry about situations they can't change. They worry about a future that hasn't arrived yet. And they wonder why they feel stuck. The winner's mindset, the Stoic mindset, says, I will pour everything I have into what I control. Everything else? I observe it. I adapt to it. But I do not let it move me. That's the shift. That's the line between winners and losers. Section 3. Amor Fati, love what happens. There's a Latin phrase the Stoics lived by. Amor Fati. It means love your fate. Not just accept it. Not just tolerate it. Love it. Every obstacle. Every rejection. Every painful season of your life, the Stoics said these things are not happening to you. They are happening for you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about the hardest thing you've been through. At the time, it felt like the end. But looking back, didn't it shape you? Didn't it build something in you that no success ever could? That's not coincidence. That's Amor Fati in action. The person who loses their job and spirals into depression, and the person who loses their job and says this is forcing me to finally build something of my own. They're living in the same reality. But one is practicing Stoicism without even knowing it. You don't have to love the pain, but you can choose to use it. Section 4. Memento Mori, remember you will die. This one might sound dark, but stay with me because this changes everything. The Stoics had another practice called Memento Mori, remember that you will die. Every single day, they reminded themselves of their own mortality, not to be morbid, but to stay awake. Because here's the brutal truth. Most people live like they have unlimited time. They delay their dreams. They stay in situations they hate. They scroll for hours. They argue over things that don't matter. And then one day, they realize time is gone. The Stoic looks at death and says, "Since my time is limited, how do I want to use it?" Steve Jobs said something similar. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Memento Mori isn't about fear. It's about urgency. It's about waking up. You have one life, one shot, and it is moving forward whether you're ready or not. Section 5. Stoicism in real-life practical moves. Okay. Enough philosophy. Let's talk about how you actually live this. #1. The morning check-in every morning. Before you touch your phone, ask yourself, what is in my control today? Write it down if you can. Set your intention before the world sets it for you. #2. The pause before the reaction. Someone disrespects you. Something goes wrong. Before you respond, pause. Take one breath. Ask, is this worth my energy? Is reacting going to help or hurt me? That one pause is Stoicism in action. #3. The evening reflection. The Stoics reviewed their day every night. Ask yourself, where did I let outside things control my emotions? Where did I do well? What can I improve tomorrow? Not judgment, just honest reflection. #4. Voluntary discomfort. This one is powerful. The Stoics would voluntarily practice difficulty fasting, cold, simplicity to remind themselves they could handle hard things. You don't need to go extreme. Wake up earlier than you want to. Take a cold shower. Skip one comfort. Train your mind to know, I can handle discomfort. It does not own me. #5. Detach from outcomes. Give everything you have to your work and then release the outcome. You cannot control whether the video goes viral. You cannot control whether someone says yes. You can only control the quality of your effort. Do the work. Release the result. Here's the truth no one tells you about winners. They don't have fewer problems than everyone else. They don't have easier lives. They don't get a break that others don't. They just think differently. They've built a mind that doesn't collapse when things go wrong, because they've trained it not to. Stoicism is that training. It's ancient, but it has never been more relevant than right now in an age designed to steal your attention, trigger your emotions, and keep you reactive. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to decide starting today to respond instead of react, to focus on what you control, to use every obstacle as fuel. That's the mindset shift. That's the line. Which side of it do you want to be on? If this helped you, subscribe to Vibexa. Drop a comment telling me one thing you're going to take control of starting today, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.